The Israeli government and its war on Gaza can seem pretty unpopular amongst Israelis if you go by what social media users say. And on the ground, there are mass protests just about every week. But if the government is so unpopular, why would Benjamin Netanyahu's Likud party still win the most votes if an election were held today? Yes, that's according to a new poll taken by the Israeli newspaper Maariv, the first of its kind taken since October 7. Likud is still the preferred party, and Netanyahu, albeit narrowly, the preferred leader. So does that mean most Israelis actually do support the mass killing of Palestinians in Gaza? Well, let's ignore the viral TikTok trends mocking the suffering of Palestinians and the popular songs that have been described as genocidal. Let's just look at data. 12 days after the Hamas-led attacks on Israel on October 7, a Maariv poll showed 65% of Israelis wanted the military to launch a major ground offensive in response. 3 months later, as the civilian death toll in Gaza passed 24,000, the US started pressuring Israel to scale back its wanton bombing of populated areas. But a poll from the Israeli Democracy Institute found that 66% of Israelis did not want that to happen. By July, the death toll hit 38,000. A letter published in the esteemed medical journal The Lancet predicted that even with an immediate ceasefire, the effects of war, malnutrition, illness, lack of medication, unsanitary conditions could kill another 150,000 people. An Israeli Democracy Institute poll taken at that time shows only 50% of Jewish Israelis supported a ceasefire and a withdrawal from Gaza to get all Israeli captives released. What about claims the government doesn't represent the people? Well, Netanyahu's been democratically elected repeatedly. Israel's last election was in November 2022, and by all accounts, it was free and fair. At that time, Gaza had already been under total Israeli blockade for 15 years, while 80% of the West Bank was either under direct or de facto illegal Israeli occupation. Its military was conducting almost daily raids and had made 2022 the deadliest year in the occupied West Bank since records began in 2005. Netanyahu and his right-wing bloc promised more of the same, and they won with 49.5% of the vote. Yes, his popularity has dropped since then, but polls show his approval ratings fell well before October 7 because he tried to limit the powers of the judiciary. Many Israelis are angry, not about the carnage in Gaza, but because of the security failures that led to the Hamas attack in the first place, and for not prioritizing the rescue of Israeli captives. Netanyahu is just one man, but the latest polls show almost half the population still supports his party and the policies that led to this point.